Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
CFL's top three rushers are up for this year's Most Outstanding Player Award as Montreal's William Stanback, Calgary's Kadeem Carey, and Edmonton's James Wilder Jr. were nominated by their respective teams. Three quarterbacks were nominated: Saskatchewan's Cody Fajardo, Winnipeg's Zach Caleros, and Toronto's McLeod Bethel Thompson getting the nod. The other MVP candidates from each team are BC receiver Lucky Whitehead, friend of the show; Hamilton linebacker Simone Lawrence, not friend of the show; Ottawa receiver returner Devontae Denman. Those are all the players of the 9. And I wish we could do a poll, but we can't do a poll because there's 5 teams in the CFL West, and Twitter only allows you 4 options.
Yeah.
Who do we leave off? Maybe we'll talk about this when we come back next segment, because Zach Caleros remains the Rodney Dangerfield of the CFL. Can't get no respect. You would think, what are they now, 11-2?
Yeah.
That this would be the year that Zach would win MVP of this league. But I don't know. I don't have a vote. So let's kick that around.
Yeah, my guess is
Zach? No?
It'll be Zach and Macbeth.
How about that?
The 2 representatives.
How about that?
That'll be my guess.
Lots to talk about.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Rod, who's your favorite NFL player ever? The guy universally known as Troy Aikman, in case you don't know. Troy is my boy. And he's ruined me for any other Dallas Cowboys quarterback since. Do we need to go down that road?
There's been some good ones, but nobody like Troy.
I don't like Tony Romo. I don't like Dak Prescott because I compare them all to Troy.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the RP Show. Ringing you in with a FlameTech Football Friday. We got a lot of big football guests coming up on the program today. I'm just so excited. 17-year NFL quarterback and Pro Bowler Gus Frerotte is going to be joining us from the United States of America. Get off the bus, Gus, to talk about Week 11 in the National Football League. We've got the reigning Canada West Coach of the Year, Scott Flory, going to join us from the University of Saskatchewan in advance of the Hardy Cup. Saskatchewan Huskies, Manitoba Bison, Saturday afternoon. And Saskatchewan Roughriders Hall of Famer Drew Greene is going to be with us. Former Miami Dolphin, by the way, Seattle Seahawk. Drew Greene's going to be with us right here in the bunker to talk about a very interesting initiative that he's involved in, plus CFL playoff time and all the rest. So that is all coming up today on FlameTech Football Friday. FlameTech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Now, you're wondering why I'm maybe sitting here alone. It's because the Moose is not here. We're bringing him in virtually. You see that? It's just me and the crew back here. The Moose is on the road again. Saskatoon. I love this Moose. Let's be honest. You own this show. You're the president and CEO. And shows like this and over the next week are kind of what you had envisioned, right? You're on the road for a very big football game. Tell the viewers why you're not here today.
Oh, yeah, it's a big one. And if you hear any noise, they're setting up for the Hardy Cup press conference. It's going to be at 2 o'clock Central Time. We got the Hardy Cup here. It's the 84th version of it, the game today or tomorrow afternoon, Manitoba and Saskatchewan. So I'm here for that. We'll be calling the game. Justin Dunk, who we all know, will be on the color. And it'll be awesome at Griffith Stadium. I tweeted a picture this morning of the stadium as I was waiting to get inside here into the clubhouse. This is the Husky clubhouse. And it just looks awesome. So I can't wait for the afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I know that you were hoping and thinking about overlooking the stadium with your location this morning, but the sun wouldn't allow it and then blah, blah, blah. So you're in the Husky clubhouse, which is pretty cool, too. So Coach Scott Flory will be joining us. This is exactly what we wanted with daytime sports talk television, getting ready for Canadian sports and a big weekend. So can you please, Director Jordan, hit the quick six show horn, please? I don't know. I'm just feeling punchy. I'm feeling extra Canadian today. We've got a great poll question we're going to get to here in a moment. Moose, I'm going to fly through the first point of the quick six, and that is Mac Jones threw a 19-yard scoring pass to Nelson Aguilar for the game's only offensive touchdown, and the New England defense took care of the rest. On Thursday Night Football, the result was a 25-0 shutout of the Atlanta Falcons for the Patriots' fifth straight victory. The Falcons haven't scored a touchdown in nearly 9 quarters. That is Clark's favorite team. But I'm feeling, as I said, extra Canadian today. I want to get to some Canadian topics. Maybe it's because I'm leaving this weekend for the United States in a tropical climate. I'm not sure, but I want to get it all out of the way now. Point 2, Shohei Ohtani, this isn't Canadian, was unanimously voted American League MVP for a 2-way season not seen since Babe Ruth. And Bryce Harper earned the National League honor for the second time. Shohei Ohtani received all 30 first-place votes in voting by members of the Baseball Writers Association of America. Toronto first baseman Vladdy Guerrero Jr. was second, and Blue Jays infielder Marcus Semien was a distant third. Moose, I will just drop anchor on that for a second. When the announcement was made last night and you saw all the reaction to Shohei Ohtani winning it, I flashed back to those Jays games, particularly the ones when they came back from Buffalo and were in Rogers Center, and people were chanting, MVP, MVP, for Vladdy. Did they actually think that he was going to win it? Because did Vladimir Guerrero have an MVP season? Yes. Did he have a better season than Shohei Ohtani? No. And clearly, like, this was an avalanche win for Shohei Ohtani. I can't imagine you were surprised when you heard the news last night.
It was unanimous. It was unanimous to the point that the voting numbers didn't even add up because they just voted all for him and stopped voting for the other two for second and third. Yeah, it's special. I mean, if we're around for this, I mean, we'll remember this for a long, 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 long time. This is something, we talk about. They don't do that anymore. They don't play both ways in football or whatever else. This is what they're going to talk about 10, 20 years from now, where it's like, remember when he pitched and was crushing home runs, starting at both positions in the All-Star game? Seems like forever ago, and what a wild time, but it's really special.
People are all jammed up, and they want to get their comments out, and they need to understand this is the warm-up for Recall Electric. This is where Moose and I wrap. And maybe coming back in the second segment, we'll get to the viewer comments, but we got our own stuff to get out of the way. And like I said, I'm feeling extra Canadian. So with point 3, the viewer's going to love this here in Canada. Alberta's Brendan Botcher Rink is one of 9 men's teams entered in the 2021 trials starting Saturday at the SaskTel Centre. It's the Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials with a berth to the Olympics in China on the line. A 9-team women's event is also on tap as the country's top curlers square off for those berths in Beijing. As reigning Brier champions, Botcher's side will be one of the favorites to wear the maple leaf in China this February. They'll be joined by a who's who of curling talent for a trials event that's considered the deepest domestic competition of the quadrennial. Who wrote that? That sounds amazing.
Sounds like the biggest deal of big deals.
Olympic champion skips Brad Gushu of St. John's and Brad Jacobs of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario are back, along with Calgary's Kevin Cooey, who will try to return to the games after missing the podium in 2018 at Pyeongchang. Regina's Matt Dunstone will enjoy home ice advantage as the lone Saskatchewan-based entry. Toronto's John Epping and Mike McEwen of West St. Paul, Manitoba round out a field that includes pre-trials winners Jason Gunlison of Morris, Manitoba, and Tanner Horgan of Kingston, Ontario. Practice sessions are set for this afternoon. The round-robin opener goes Saturday. Meanwhile, Ottawa's Rachel Homan, friend of the show, who beat Chelsea Carey 4 years ago to take the Olympic spot, returns as one of the headliners in the women's draw. Reigning national champion Carrie Anderson of Gimli, Manitoba will also be a favorite, along with Winnipeg's Jennifer Jones and Tracy Fleury of East St. Paul, Manitoba. Edmonton's Kelsey Rock, Casey Scheidegger of Lethbridge, and Edmonton's Laura Walker are also in the field, with pre-trials winners Krista McCarville of Thunder Bay and Jacqueline Harrison of Dundas, Ontario. So I'm just teeing everybody up. Because as you know, Darren, once those rocks start flying, curling's here, man. It's November. And you're going to want to pay very close attention to TSN. Watch these draws. And why don't you tell our viewers, very special news with the RP show in Curling Canada and some great sponsors for coverage next week from Saskatoon.
It's awesome. Curling Canada has been really, really good to us. And I'm here for football. But once that's done Saturday, I'm not leaving. So I'll stick around all week. We'll be down at the curling trials at the SaskTel Center every day. We'll be doing the show probably from either there, the hotel, wherever we need to be. It's going to be great. So we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage of that. I'll be the eyes and ears for you down at the curling trial.
Fantastic. Tim Hortons Canadian curling trials getting underway Saturday with berths in the Olympics on the line. Moving on to point 4. Man, we're going through this fast. NHL Thursday. Well, by the way, it's FlameTech Football Friday, and I think we're going to save the bulk of the CFL, NFL talk, and Hardy Cup talk for the next segment, okay? Because people are writing in about last night's NHL. So here's what happened. A lot of games. Morgan Riley scored twice, and the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the New York Rangers 2-1 Thursday night for their 10th victory in 11 games.
LFG.
In Sunrise, Florida, Spencer Knight made a career-high 45 saves to lift Florida over New Jersey 4-1. I'm watching the game. Our good friend Randy Moeller's doing the color for the Panthers, and he's like, I don't think the Panthers were prepared for this start by New Jersey. Then he caught himself. I don't think they were expecting this start by New Jersey because the Devils scored first. They were all over the Panthers. And then once, this is like what it was because I was watching the game on Valley Sports Florida. It was like, whack. Okay. And then the Panthers were set, and they came back and routed them. You know how that happens, right?
Oh, yeah.
They just weren't expecting it. Seth Jarvis scored the tie-breaking goal midway through the third period, and Carolina stopped Anaheim's 8-game winning streak, winning 2-1 on the Duck Pond. Ethan Bear scored for the Canes. Friend of the show, proud warrior from Ochapowace First Nation in Saskatchewan. Seth Jarvis, of course, a former Portland Winterhawk as well. Listening to NHL radio this morning, they said, should the Ducks be upset that they lost to Carolina? Nope. Best team in the NHL right there. They're making a lot of teams look foolish, the Carolina Hurricanes. Steven Stamkos and Braden Point each scored in the shootout and regulation to lift Tampa Bay over Philadelphia 4-3. Jacob Markstrom made 27 saves for his 5th shutout. Andrew Mangiapane had 2 goals and a helper, in Calgary beat Buffalo 5-0. Apparently this is the most shutouts in this early in a season in modern NHL history, what the Flames are putting up. So when that Flames fan wrote in last week and said, Rod, is this a flash in the pan for Jacob Markstrom? Do you remember what I said, Moose? I said, no, it's not. He's this good.
I remember.
He's this good. Boone Jenner had 3 goals. Yegor Chinakhov scored in the 7th round of a shootout, and Columbus outlasted Arizona 5-4. In Thursday's main event, Connor McDavid scored in regulation and the shootout. Kyle Turris also scored in the shootout, and Edmonton beat Winnipeg 2-1. I'm watching the game last night, and I'm thinking to myself, I get these voices in my head, Darren. I get these voices in my head. And they tell me to do good things. By the way, it's 11:11. The opportunity portal is opening. Hopefully you walk through it. This voice
Are they adding a voice to that chorus every day?
Every day.
One extra voice?
A voice in my head said, Stuart Skinner is the best goaltender the Edmonton Oilers have. And that includes Mike Smith. So a lot of times when I get these voices in my head, I just go and put them on Twitter. They don't necessarily always last there. Sometimes I delete them very quickly. But here's a little trick for you media people that are don't understand. You can tweet pretty much anything about the Edmonton Oilers and get a... You know what I mean? They're a very easy thing, especially when you want to talk about Oilers goaltending.
But I saw you got a lot of reaction on it. I saw it last night. Right,
and I didn't do it to kick the hornet's nest. I got this voice in my head. Stuart Skinner's the best goalie the Oilers have. Tweeted it, and away we... And he is. He is.
You didn't get a lot of pushback on that.
No, hardly at all. So whoever's responsible for those voices, thank you. Kirill Kaprizov had a goal and 3 assists for Minnesota, which used a 4-goal third period to spoil Dallas defenseman Ryan Suter's return, 7-2 Wild over the Stars. Teddy Bluger scored 2 goals, and Pittsburgh pounded Montreal 6-0 to snap a 3-game skid. Brandon Saad scored twice. Ville Husso made 26 saves, and the St. Louis Blues beat San Jose 4-1 to snap a 4-game skid. And Zach Whitecloud scored 2 goals in his first game back after hand surgery, and Vegas beat Detroit 5-2. By the way, we got a few more minutes left in this segment, the warm-up for Ecode Electric. We don't have time here to get into tonight's CFL doubleheader. The CFL has fined referee Tom Valesi an undisclosed amount for swearing into an open mic on Saturday. And 45-year-old Randy Chevrier has been signed by the Calgary Stampeders as a long snapper. We'll get into all of that next segment, plus the Hardy Cup. Let me just say, State Fair football. So to the NHL, I don't know where you want to go on that, Moose. Your Leafs won. Connor McDavid clapped back at John Tortorella. And I caught the end of an interview on NHL radio last week with Craig Button, and I'm pretty sure he was discussing Tortorella's take that Connor McDavid should change his game. I jumped in mid-interview, so I shouldn't speak for Butts, but he was like, I'm not even dignifying that with a response. Sometimes smart people say stupid things. He had to have been referring to John Tortorella. And McDavid yesterday made the joke that I guess I should shut up about wanting to draw penalties. Does John Tortorella actually believe that Connor McDavid needs to change his game? Do you think he actually believes that? Or was he just doing it to get a reaction on ESPN?
No, I don't think he was wrong. I think he meant what he said, but I think what he meant was not that he needs to change his game, but I think it comes down to the whining and expecting to get the calls and expecting to do these things. You know, you do have to bear down a little bit in the playoffs. You're not going to get as many power play opportunities. We know that. There's not as many penalties called. Defense tightens up. The scoring goes down. The goaltending goes up. Everything changes a little bit in the playoffs. So it's not going to be the same as the regular season. It never is, especially when the games matter. But I think what Torts was more referring to, not that he needs to change his game, but a little bit more of an attitude thing, because nobody thinks Connor McDavid needs to change his game, I don't think. Best player in the world.
I would hope
I think
not.
that's ludicrous. And Tortorella is one of the best coaches in the game. So he doesn't think he needs to change his style of play, but he needs to bear down a little bit, learn that. And bearing down a little bit is taking the shots and not just getting upset, not letting that throw him off his game. Because when teams see him whining and complaining, they're just going to want to jab him a little bit more. And when the referees see him whining and complaining, they're not going to call the penalties.
Look, Rex Ryan's a good coach, too, and he's on ESPN as well. But if Torts wants to be an analyst for a while, he'd better speak a little more clearly and be a little more defined in what he's saying and not leave his comments open to ambiguity. Fair? From a 32-year broadcaster here. From Northside YEG in Edmonton says, right on, man. These guys on this show know their hockey, so I'm going to roll with that. Skinner, some more games, the hometown kid. Yes, he should keep playing him, man. He replaced Koskinen the other night when the game was out of reach. He was outstanding last night. Keep playing him. I had another NHL point, but I guess I'll have to come back to it because it slipped my mind. The poll question. Oh, it was the Canucks. It was the Canucks. Can I just say this about Jim Benning, the general manager, coming out? Here's my take, having not been put up to it by anybody. When he sits at a podium and goes, we're as surprised as anyone. We're frustrated. We're all frustrated. We're trying to find the answers. Hey, Jim, you've lost 5 in a row. If I'm Francesco Aquilini, the owner, I'm saying, if you don't know, who knows? You're fired. What is it? 5 years at least? 4 for sure for Travis Greene, the coach. If you don't know after this amount of time what's wrong with your team and your locker room, you got to go. Because you know that you can watch, I believe, I know I can, I'm pretty sure you can too, watch the Vancouver Canucks for 5-10 minutes, a game maximum, and you can see what the problem is. We don't know. It sounds like Brock Sunderland in Edmonton, the general manager of the Elks, standing at midfield saying, we don't know. We're shocked we're this crappy. Boom, you're gone too. Like, how are they getting away with this? Like Jim Benning, we're talking to other GMs in the league and seeing what they have available. Yeah, Jim, because they're going to line up and help you. We're talking to agents. We're talking to agents. Yeah, and they're going to do what's best for the Vancouver Canucks. No, they're not. This is what's going on in Vancouver? I would have fired him yesterday. And the poll question today is, for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, who's been the biggest disappointment on the continent this season? For Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, who's been the biggest disappointment on the continent this season? The Vancouver Canucks, the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Lions, or the Edmonton Elks? And leading the way right now is the Montreal Canadiens. I would have not voted for them. I would have voted for either the Elks or the Canucks. But anyways, Clark saying on YouTube, Elks is leading. When we come back, we'll delve into the football. This is the warm-up brought to you by Ecole Electric. Come see our sales staff and in-house specialists for all your electrical needs. You're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube live daily in 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I'm proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the RP Show. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. A reminder that all our Friday guests are presented by Wheaton Kia. You can find them at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst in North Regina. Boy, people are having fun with the poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center. Who's been the biggest disappointment on the continent this season? You can write in with your own answers, by the way, if you don't like any of these options. Vancouver Canucks, Montreal Canadiens, Detroit Lions, Edmonton Elks. And on Twitter, as we said, the Canadiens, Montreal Canadiens are leading. On YouTube, the Elks are leading. And it's you what we like to do with our polls every day is be somewhat thought-provoking. You just sit back and think about this. Darren Workman's watching in Salt Lake City. He says the Elks were picked by some to win the Western Division. The other choices had way less expectations. And for that reason, I would say the Elks, but the Canucks, I mean, they were dead last year in Canada. I thought they were going to be better, and they're not. Chris Bird in King City, Ontario, says Lions are a perennial loser, so not surprised. Elks by far are underperforming based on their roster. And we'll get to the actual games. I'm interested to watch the games tonight in the Canadian Football League. Ottawa's at Montreal. I'll be tuning in to watch Trevor Harris because I love me some Trevor Harris, personally and professionally. See how he fares with the Alouettes. And they need to win to have a chance to clinch second. Ottawa, it's garbage time for them. And then later on tonight, it's Edmonton at BC. Toilet Bowl, hoping to stay awake for it. But I'll be at least tuning in casually. Let's bring Moose back in here. The CFL did announce yesterday that referee Tom Valesi has been fined an undisclosed amount for blurting out, F them. I still think it's hilarious. On the live mic at the Rough Riders on Saturday. Case closed, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's done. Riders said they're okay with it. They've, only they know really who he was talking to, what he was talking about. You fine him. You're not going to lose any games over this. Yeah, it's case closed. But it'll be interesting because now we'll be watching, Tom.
I'll be watching to see the officiating crews for when the Rough Riders play the rest of the way. This weekend, yes. The West semifinal, the West final, the Grey Cup. If they make it that far, pretty sure Tom Valesi won't be on that crew. By the way, you can always write us on the text line at 902-518-3033. Did I get it right?
3033, but close
3033.
It's not going to be in your head till you hear the jingle over and over. We'll get it.
Right.
Come
on. 902-518-3033. I just hear like a barbershop quartet singing it in my head when I rattle that through my cranium. Anyways, Mandy in Edmonton has found the text line. She writes in and says, if I tell Shaw I'm leaving because they don't have Game Plus in the RP show, will you buy me wings and a beer at Hooters? Mandy, that is a Texas 10-4.
Bingo!
Absolutely. Will you do that? I think I'll do it for anybody across Western Canada. You go into your local cable carrier, Shaw, and say, I'm canceling my cable because you don't carry Game Plus. Do it. Darren will pick up the tab. And but I'll meet you at Hooter. That's a win-win for me. Jeff Caldwell is watching in Redmond, Oregon on Game Plus TV. See, he gets it. And he says, I stopped in at Taco Time in Sandy, Oregon yesterday. Wouldn't have gone if not for the RP show. Great stuff. How about that?
Cut it. Tag a minute. Post it.
Okay. We're into the football discussion, Moose. And Jack Fulton, our man Jack, he's watching out there in Vulcan, Alberta. He's a Stampeders fan. And he says, I don't understand why Nick Arbuckle isn't getting the opportunity he so richly deserves. Great game, but the business of football sucks. I haven't read a whole lot into this other than I saw the headline, or I got a notification yesterday from somewhere that said that Nick Fatty Arbuckle won't play tonight for Edmonton. And I got to think that he's going to at least get his money. I would hope. I mean, Jack, you tell me, and you got my number. You shoot me a text for what you know about this situation. It's one thing not to play, but I know the mentality of the pro football player. At least pay me. Or you got him on injured reserve? Have you got him on the one game? What do you do? Just make sure the man gets paid. I'm not always sure that they are doing that, but the fact is Jamie Elizondo coaching his last game tonight for the Edmonton Elks, Darren?
That's a really good question. It's a really good question. It would all depend on, I know we talked about the expectations and disappointments, but it all depends on what those internal expectations are, right? I mean, if they internally thought this was going to be a tough year, then Jamie's bought himself a year. if they've committed to him, for a set number of years and Jamie's got a plan, then I think he's fine. But if they had sky-high expectations and the bottom's just fallen out and they haven't met them, then, yeah, he might be. He absolutely might be. But we know he's a great offensive coordinator. We know we've seen that. Sometimes with rookie head coaches, we don't often know if it'll translate to being the boss, the leader, the decision maker. But it's a very interesting storyline to follow tonight.
Lots of great comments coming in here. And by the way, producer Clark has told me that Gus Frerotte has logged in, so we'll speed this segment up and get to him in a hurry. But there are a lot of CFL questions have come in. And if he missed what we were saying earlier, longtime CFL referee Tom Valesi was fined an undisclosed amount by the league for saying into his open microphone, "Timeout, Saskatchewan. F them." I still can't stop laughing at it. And Mike Horrigan is watching in Toronto. Mike Horrigan, where's the comment? He goes, I still don't understand. Where is it, guys? Still don't understand why they had to take a timeout at the start of the second half. Do you see that comment? Anyway, I'm going by memory here. Anyways, the coach said we didn't have our guys lined up. We didn't have enough men on the field. And I think he said a couple of guys were in the bathroom, in the locker room, and they weren't ready to go to start the second half, and they had to take a timeout. Again.
Well, it makes sense now.
State fair football.
It makes sense. Guys are in the locker room, and it's like they got to take a timeout. But our guys are waiting. But we're waiting on this guy. F them. We're not ready. Got to go.
Exactly.
So take the timeout.
That's what happened.
I get it. You know what? I'm with Tom.
From Steve-O's channel. That's the guy's name watching on YouTube. He says, are you surprised Jeremiah Masoli is still starting for the Ticats? I know the Cats have won, but Jeremiah Masoli hasn't been great. Well, the Ole Miss product, listen, man, come on. I got to ask Gus about this. Style points for quarterbacks. He's winning. Here is what Jeremiah, holy moly Masoli, is saying to you, Steve-O. I don't know. I was too busy winning. They've won, what? 4 in a row going into Toronto last week in a clash of the top 2 teams in the Eastern Division, and they didn't win that game. But no, I'm not surprised. Masoli's the best quarterback they have. Okay? So they're going to go with the best quarterback they have. They had 3 that can start and win games. What a luxury the Hamilton Tiger Cats have. Jeremiah Masoli, Dane Evans, and our good friend David Watford. And by the way, it's the last game of the regular season tomorrow, and they need to win to nail down home field, which is at least $1 million in the coffers to the Hamilton Tiger Cats to host a game in the Eastern semifinals. So I'm not surprised at all that Jeremiah Masoli is starting. And I appreciate the good old CFL discussion here today. Aren't you, Moose?
Oh, I love it. And but this is what I said, right? For whatever reason.
Chris Bird, who I want to preface is an Argos fan, says Masoli won against teams that aren't in the playoffs. That's his fault in some way. You can only beat the teams that are on the schedule. That's the biggest argument I hate is, he didn't beat anybody. What if he'd lost? What would you be saying about him then? Anyways, last question, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but they had a question specifically for you. Ryan H. on YouTube said, Moose, how much is it hurting the Edmonton Elks' new rebrand with the new name that they've changed from Eskimos to Elks and to be the worst team in the league? How much is it hurting them?
It hurts, absolutely, because you want to say fear the deer. Nobody's fearing them, right? It's like baby deer. It's just like you're cute, and we're not worried about you at all. So, yeah, it does hurt the rebrand a little bit. They need to come out with a statement in the off. They have to have a really good offseason. There's a lot of pressure on that group to have a good offseason and regroup and come out strong with a strong brand, strong presence, and get everybody excited for next year.
Moose, we will see you back in hour 2, right?
Can't wait.
Okay, because we will preview that Hardy Cup, the University of Saskatchewan Huskies against the University of Manitoba Bisons, which you can watch Saturday on Canada West TV and SaskTel Max Television for the Canada West Football Championship. Darren will be calling it, and he's live from the U of S campus as we speak. Gus Frerotte joins us next, the 17-year NFL quarterback and Pro Bowler. Lots to get to with Gus. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. You're watching on the Game Plus television network, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special. Holy.
It's pretty impressive. Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a FlameTech Football Friday. FlameTech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Pro Bowl NFL quarterback Gus Frerotte joins us now from the Huddle Up with Gus podcast in the States. Last time we talked, Gus, if you remember, was the day before the NFL season. So it's been 11 weeks. Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Rod. How are you doing? And man, since the last time I spoke with you, things have amped up for the Rod Pedersen Show. I love it.
You've noticed big time. Thank you, Gus. I appreciate that. Listen, what were you thinking when you heard our discussion about the quarterbacks? Well, he's winning, but not by enough, and against inferior opponents. You played the position. It's hard to win, Gus. Like, what do you think when you hear that?
Well, I think that when you play professional sports, a win is a great thing, no matter if it's the last team in the league or the top team in the league. They're hard to come by. It's not easy, and you're playing against incredible competition. So any win is a good win.
Yeah, and then that's not just at the quarterback position. Is that not just for teams as well? I mean, you've played on good teams, you played on bad teams. Do you not get frustrated when you hear the fans say, well, you won, but not by enough? Or they want the perfect game. And I just, I'm like, would you stop talking?
Yeah, well, that's fans all over. No matter where you are, they want everything to be perfect, right? The Penguins won 6-0 last night, and everybody here wanted them to win 7-0, right? That's just how it is. But, you kind of got to cut out the noise when you're a player and just go and keep playing, because it doesn't matter. 10 years from now, when you say this guy had 4 wins this season, they're not going to remember any teams he played.
Yeah, no kidding. Good, very, very good point. My burning question to you is the Week 11 matchup of the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. Is it indeed a Super Bowl preview?
I don't know. It's too up in the air this year in the NFL. I don't think that we can say the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, and I don't think that we can say the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC. I don't think it's a Super Bowl preview, but it could be. Anything can happen this year, as we've seen week in and week out in the NFL.
Who's the MVP of this season so far in your mind? Let's say the first half MVP.
Yeah, regular, like just all MVP or rookie MVP? Which one do you want to go with?
Who will win the MVP of the NFL if they were handing it out this week?
Oh, well, my pick would have been Derrick Henry, but then he got hurt, so that really hurt him, because he's kind of the heart and soul. But they've been playing well without him, which is amazing. And they got Adrian Peterson back. It's probably usually a quarterback that you see get an MVP. So if you look at what quarterbacks are the best this year, Aaron Rodgers has shown that he can play even without the top players on his team. You never can count Patrick Mahomes out, but he definitely had some really poor games through the first stretch of the season. Lamar Jackson is always a favorite just because of what he can do, how many yards he puts up total. It's just an amazing player to watch. And other than that, I was hoping Justin Herbert would have another year that was big, but that's not happening. So my front runner right now might be Aaron Rodgers, even with all the craziness that's going on around him.
Oh, interesting. Well, for sure. I just wonder if that will sway voters in terms of how that's all gone down. How selfish of me. There have been a lot of voters that have viewers that have questions for you. Ryan in Saratoga, New York says, question for Gus, is Taylor Heineke the guy in Washington, or do you think they need to go after a quarterback in next year's draft?
Oh, they're going to go after a quarterback. I like Taylor a lot, and I think that he gives them a lot of passion. He plays hard, but I don't think that's the guy that Ron Rivera is going to, put all his eggs in the basket, right? I think that he'd be a great guy to bring in all those kind of situations. He's proven he can come play when he's been on the bench, when he's sitting behind watching, and he can come in and lead the team and make some great throws. But I don't know if that's the type of guy that the Washington Redskins are actually looking for.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, I would assume they're your favorite topic, just like goalies are mine. What about this debate? Mac Jones. Were the Patriots wise in taking him 15th? I saw something nobody else did, or lucky that he fell to number 15 coming out of Alabama?
I think they were wise because of, a lot of Alabama quarterbacks that we've seen come out haven't done the things that they did in college. And Mac Jones is showing us that he's smart. He gets rid of the ball. He doesn't buckle under pressure. I think he might be the rookie of the year. I was looking at Jamar Chase, maybe the rookie of the year, but I think it's going to be Mac Jones. And I think that Belichick is smiling every time he goes out and plays.
Well, for the Patriots fans that are watching, what have you seen, Gus? What have they done with Mac, other than show him confidence in him very early in training camp and keep throwing him out there? But from a technical, schematic thing, what have they done to give him the chance to be successful?
They have a really good defense. No, I think that, he's going to make mistakes. He's a rookie. If you look at Peyton Manning in his rookie year and how many picks he threw, Mac threw a pick last night. Maybe wasn't the right place to throw the ball, but he's going to learn from those things. But you see him doing things that a lot of mature veteran quarterbacks can do, where he's got a full blitzer, nobody's blocking him coming on. He retreats a little bit, throws it to only where his receiver can get it, but it's still a catchable ball. And I think that's one of the things that you can't teach. And he has that composure, that calm demeanor. And I think that comes from how he knows the offense. And I think he's just going to get better and better. The one thing I think that he is lacking is just that rocket arm. But I think everything else, all the other intangibles, help him be a great player.
Al Tacona, watching in Winnipeg, says, I'll say it again, Mac Jones is the best quarterback out of that draft. Ooh, that's a spicy topic. Who do you think is the best quarterback out of that rich?
Well, he's shown this year that he's the best. Right, Rod? He's shown that he can go out and play and win games. The other guys had opportunities. We've seen Justin Fields play in Chicago, and he hasn't won. Trey Lance had a couple opportunities. He hasn't won. And then Trevor Lawrence down in Jacksonville, they're just struggling as a team. So I think Mac fits well in those teams, and he's shown that he can go out and lead a team to victory. He's smart. I think Coach Belichick likes a guy that stays in the pocket, because that's what they had for many, many years with Tom. And I think that he fits in that system. And right now he's playing the best out of all of them.
Well, that's interesting. The two last guys, Justin Fields and Mac Jones, have been the better than the top three, no doubt. Could you, Gus, tell our viewers about the Huddle Up with Gus podcast? Like I've heard some of your episodes, not all, but you're getting some major guests on there, man. You having fun with that? What's going on?
Oh, I love it, man. I had He was named the greatest CFL player of all time, and I just had him on 2 weeks ago.
Doug Flutie?
So Doug Flutie. So Doug Flutie was on. Obviously he played in the NFL, played in the CFL. Was a great guy. We had a great conversation. So on Huddle Up with Gus, we talk to people. We bring in unbelievable guests, and we talk about how sports shaped their lives. So everybody has a great story. Doug has a great story. The Heisman winner. One of the greatest throws in college football ever, and a victory over Miami, and then just all of a sudden not going anywhere in the draft, and then going to his career wasn't the typical career that you would think of a quarterback like that. So Huddle Up with Gus, we talk to people like that, and we got a new platform called Super. It's a Facebook platform, and people can come on the show when we post it. So we usually do Thursday nights around 6, and you can come on live. You can ask our guests a live question, so we'll bring you on camera, or you can type in a question through chat. And it's a great new platform. It's just taking podcasting to another level. It's a lot of fun.
Well, like when you were saying that we've gone a long ways, I knew you guys had gone a long ways, and I wanted to give the opportunity to talk about that. And by the way, I just looked up your Wikipedia. Gus, you are 1 year older than me. You turned 50 in July. So mine's coming up. I remember when my dad turned 50, I was like, oh my God, he's ancient. I hope we have him for a few more years. He went to 81, of course. But my point is that I had the pleasure of not calling Flutie's games, but being on the sidelines as a sideline reporter and just watching him, just going, oh my God, what he's doing out there. And he won the league MVP 6 straight years with like 3 different teams. I don't know if he got into that or not, but it's not even close. Who was number 2 to Doug Flutie? What made you want to get Doug? What made you want to get Doug on?
I just love people that have very interesting pasts and very, where their life is just surrounded by sports. And Doug is like that, but he's very interesting, right? He has a band that he does with his brother. He's doing all kind of charity work. He has a foundation, the Flutie Foundation, for his son. And Doug, he still surfs every morning, and then he plays baseball at night. So you talk about a guy that loves sports. That's the guy you want on your show.
Yeah, no kidding. He is an icon for sure up here. Just a football icon, no matter the league. Gus, we'll let you go. Looks like you are comfy in your environs. They want to know, are you in the doghouse, in the sauna? Where are you at?
Yeah, no, this is the hangout room for the kids. This is where, here, wait, I'll show you. This is where I keep this is the only place my wife allows me to keep all my cards. So I collect old baseball cards.
Oh, wow.
And I just had that one graded. It's my rookie Roberto Clemente. So this is where I come and sit and hang out and check out all my cards.
What's funny, man, the young staff around here, I was telling them how great the Pirates were back in the day, and they looked at me like the Pirates have never been great. I'm like, no, we are family. 70, Roberto Clemente, again, our age, Gus, our age. Listen, enjoy the football.
Well, yeah, that's why this guy's my second favorite, right? That was my first favorite. That's my second one.
Is Willie Stargell?
Willie
I can't
Stargell.
See. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
what a crew
really,
you
so
got
if
there.
if you had a swing, you know how when you play wiffle ball back in the day, you'd emulate somebody's swing. I was always doing Willie Stargell.
Those were some greats from that city for sure. Gus, thank you, man. Enjoy the football. Hope we can do it again soon.
All right, Rod, I appreciate you, man. Everyone can go to Huddle Up with Gus. Check me out. Keep killing it, man. You're doing great.
Same to you. Everybody give him a follow. Gus Frerotte joining us from the Steel City. Taco Time viewer takeover is next. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
I started the Shot Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I'm proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Rod Squad? Now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. It's just been a fantastic day. We move into Taco Time viewer takeover. Lots of comments have come in. Did you know Taco Time has been around for 40 years in Canada? This iconic brand, a Canadian favorite, serves over 3.2 million burritos, 2.5 million tacos, and over 1 million Mexi fries every year. And I just can't believe all the Americans that are writing in that they're just flooding Taco Time because of this show. Particularly Sandy, Oregon. Let's get a photo of that. I knew this was coming. I knew it. The poll question today is, who's been the biggest disappointment on the continent this season? For Capital Automotive Universal Collision Center, our Navy friend Don writes in from Ottawa and says, Justin Trudeau. That's pretty good. As far as sports teams, your options for the biggest disappointments on the continent this year are the Vancouver Canucks, the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Lions, or the Edmonton Elks. And now the Canucks are leading with 40% of the vote on Twitter. What are they saying on YouTube, Clark? Still the Edmonton Elks. I would say either the Edmonton Elks or the Vancouver Canucks for sure. Didn't expect much of the Detroit Lions. Didn't expect much of the Montreal Canadiens. Chris Bird in King City, Ontario says the University of Saskatchewan's going to roll this weekend, and Western will take the Yates. Hashtag come at me. Well, we have Darren DuPont lined up, joining us in hour two from the University of Saskatchewan. We got Scott Flory, the Huskies head coach, going to be with us in hour two. Canadian Football Hall of Famer and the Canada West Coach of the Year. From Ward in Winnipeg. Good morning, Rod and Moose. 3 Winnipeg Jets players still looking for their jocks, thanks to McJesus. Signed, Ward. That's just Connor, right? We expect it every night, and we get it every night. Dan, last minute of play in hour one. From Dan in the Queen City. That's what I love about the RP show. You can turn to any sports channel and get coverage around the NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL. That's all they cover. But the RP show covers that, plus all the sports not on any of the sports channels. Thoroughly enjoy the show. Thank you, Dan. And I had somebody say to me recently, how do you keep up with all these leagues? And I'm like, if that's my job, I'm a pretty lucky guy. And I'm so happy not being locked into one team or one league, and that's all that I have time for, or I'm allowed to talk about, or can't say whatever I want. It's the best job in the world. Next hour, Scott Flory and Andrew Greene and the Moose and more of you, and we'll award the Taco Time Comment of the Week. Stick around here on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy. It's pretty impressive.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Rod, who's your favorite NFL player ever? The guy universally known as Troy Aikman, in case you don't know. Troy is my boy. And he's ruined me for any other Dallas Cowboys quarterback since. Do we need to go down that road?
There's been some good ones, but nobody like Troy.
I don't like Tony Romo. I don't like Dak Prescott because I compare them all to Troy.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome to the RP Show, Hour 2, everybody. Proudly brought to you by Original 16. Great Western Beers, Original 16. Hour 2 brought to you by. Here on the Game Plus Television Network, we are all across Canada, across all 10 provinces. Can we hear from Atlantic Canada? Wiki, wiki. Pretty quiet out there. I know there's been a lot of Western North America flavor and focus here today, but that's okay. As we're about to bring in Moose, because I got to get some Hardy Cup talk here tomorrow. It's the Saskatchewan Huskies. Manitoba Bisons will meet for Western Canadian University football supremacy. Darren will be calling the game. One sec, Moose. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. We've got all kinds of reaction from across this nation. Steve McIntosh writes in from Hamilton, Ontario. He's watching on Game Plus TV, carried on Cogeco Cable out there. He says, Rod Mazzoli is the third best quarterback on the Ticats. Evans should be the number one quarterback. He was 4-1 before he got hurt, including beating Montreal. No, I get it. I get it. Dane Evans took you to the Grey Cup last year. I know. But I'm also going to put my eggs in the basket of Orlando Steinauer, who was the coach of the year last year. And I think he's got a pretty good idea. And is Tommy Condell not the offensive coordinator there still? Let's let the coaches do their jobs. We have from Jeff Caldwell in Oregon. He has sent us a photo from the Taco Time in Sandy, Oregon. And we have it. Clark's going to put it up here. There it is. It lives. The Taco Time in Sandy, Oregon. There you go. He goes, wouldn't have gone if not for the RP show. And Robin, watching in Prince Albert, says, long-time viewer, first time here on the text line. How epic would it be if Taco Time had a breakfast menu?
Spicy.
Whoa, there's got to be more. Approved.
Approved. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right on.
Right on. That's Texas 10-4. Let's get a breakfast menu at taco time. Let's go. Signed Robin from the Gateway to the North. Brian Goldstrom writes in and he says, is this the last CFL season before The Rock buys the Stampeders? That would explain the cheesy high-revenue movies that Dwayne Johnson's putting out. That's from Brian in Withrow, Alberta. Listen, I don't know. I didn't think the CFL would play this year at all. You see on 3 Down Nation coaches grumbling that there's coaches making $30,000 a year, working 70 hours. I got my phone blown up today about players being denied bonuses. But it's like, oh, who cares, man? They're playing. They're playing. That's all you want to know. It's turning into a sweatshop, but nobody cares because you get your Friday Night Football. Okay, let's bring in Moose from the University of Saskatchewan, the Huskies clubhouse, getting ready for the Hardy Cup. I wanted to ask you for a Hardy Cup preview. We have the opportunity here now in hour 2. Moose, tell me about this game, Bisons, Huskies, and how excited you are to call it.
I'm really excited. Just one quick thought on your coaches thing.
Yeah.
Like you say, people just want to eat the hot dog. They don't want to know what's in it, right? So anyways, the Hardy Cup, 84th Hardy Cup is Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's the Bisons and the Huskies. Now, Saskatchewan's one of the top teams in the country. They are really good on both sides of the football. They've got a great quarterback in Mason Nias. They've got a great running back, a group. I mean, Adam Mackart kind of leads that way, but Joshi Winchina, they've got other guys there. Colton Klassen in the receiving core and Sam Baker and, Daniel Perry and others. Their defense is really good. But Manitoba, rookie quarterback, okay, their starting quarterback went out at the beginning of the year in week 1, but this rookie's Jackson Tuchinski's done an amazing job. He's a dual sport athlete, basketball and football. But what Manitoba has, a rookie O-line that's played really well, good young running backs, but they have maybe one of the best defenses in the country in Manitoba. They're physical, they're fast, they swarm the football. So it'll be fun. That interprovincial rivalry will be a lot of fun at 1 o'clock local time on Saturday. So it'll be great. The winner goes on to the national semifinal. So again, the big bad Huskies, I guess, are really favored. But Manitoba's got a really good defense, They'll keep this game hopefully low scoring, and that's their path to victory, run the football.
My cousin Christine watching in Medicine Hat, she says, go Huskies. Tacona Pally watching in Winnipeg says, go Bisons. Donna Berger watching in Central Butte says, go Huskies. So everybody's into it, Moose. Where can they watch the game?
CanadaWest.tv. You can watch it there online. I've heard in Manitoba, actually, I saw the tweet. There's going to be a couple of rinks, maybe on campus, different places where you can actually go into the rink, watch it on the Jumbotron, and then stick around for the hockey game after. That's cool if you're in Winnipeg. But you can also watch it on, I believe, SaskTel has the game, Max, Bell MTS, TELUS Optic TV. It's on regional cable all across Western Canada. So check your local listings. If you can't find it, CanadaWest.tv.
Well, if you are watching Game Plus television right now, whether it be SaskTel Max, TELUS Optic TV in Alberta and BC,
that's right.
Bell MTS in Manitoba, if you're watching it on TV right now, this show, you will more than likely get that football game. Right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Steve-O's channel on YouTube says $35,000 to work 70 hours. Wowza. Bad. No, it was actually $30,000. It's on 3 Down Nation right now. Chris Bird in King City, Ontario says Yates Cup to be broadcast on CHCH. So that is Hamilton and the home of the Dunkster, right? And also Bubba O'Neill. We got to get Bubba on leading up to the Grey Cup.
Approved.
By the way, Saskatoon, the forecast tomorrow, partly cloudy and -1 Celsius, Moose. That's ain't bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's better than the last game they played there. Didn't you do the semifinal? No, you were in Winnipeg, where you were buried.
I was in Winnipeg, but I've done Hardy Cups, and it seems like they've been in Calgary forever. I've done them when they're -20, -15, -30 during the week. It's been insane.
For our American friends, the forecast for the game Moose will be broadcasting tomorrow is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Not the worst thing in the world. And the viewers want to know, Moose, what time's the game?
1 p.m. Central Time. So for that's the the Manitoba and Saskatchewan time zones, 1 p.m. kickoff.
Noon
2
Mountain.
Eastern. Yeah.
2 Eastern, yeah. From a Stamps fan watching, Dougal Cameron says, I finally figured out the live chat, Rod. Old guy back in the chat saddle again. Glad to have you, Dougal. And we've been talking about every league here today, which is good on a FlameTech Football Friday. We're going to get to the Taco Time comment of the week. We've decided who it is, by the way. Without you, Moose, the staff here, we all came up with the winner. We'll be announcing it in the last. I think you'll approve. I do think you'll approve. I don't understand why people are arguing about Jeremiah Masoli being the starting quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now, listen, I don't necessarily get the love for Jeremiah Masoli, other than he throws for 300 yards plus every game, and he wins. So maybe, yes, I don't get the hate for Jeremiah Masoli either. But they're a perennially good team, and I just don't understand why people just got to pick. Ryan in New York says, Rod, I'm curious to know if you could go back in time, which sports decade or era would you like to cover the most? Dude, I was adding this up the other day. I'm ashamed to say. I got into this gig real young. And my brothers will attest because they were there. I started on the air in 1988 when I was 16 years old. So I've covered the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now the 2020s. That's 5 decades right there that I've been on. What else would I want? And what decade? Okay, why don't you ask me which was my favorite decade, okay, of the 5? And I would say the 90s. And you get it, Moose.
Yeah, I do.
Wasn't it you that Jeff Odgers said was the best era to play in the NHL? And wasn't it you that he told that to, Jeff Odgers?
Oh, yeah.
Tell the viewers why Jeff Odgers said it was the greatest era. And I would say, for me, all the same reasons. But you go ahead.
We're sitting around. I don't know what establishment we were in, and we were having our post-game meal, and we were telling stories. And, he said he played in the best era of hockey. He said the money was just getting good. There was a role still for the enforcer. And there was no camera phones to pick up all the behavior on the weekends and on the nights in Atlanta and wherever else he was playing, Denver and everywhere else. He played in the best era.
And for me, I was on the air calling CFL games, WHL games. There were no cell phones. The internet was just getting rolling. And it's the 90s. The money was never there in our industry. But it was just a lot of fun. And that guy that you are buzzing around there at the U of S with right now, Mike Jenkins, I remember when the internet first became a thing. We were working for the Regina Pats, and he's like, Rod, have a look at this. It's the internet. And I'm like, how do I type on it? We didn't quite know what a cursor was. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And Mike's like, no, Rod, you dummy. You need to click on this. Right. And that ear-piercing sound when you try to dial up to the internet, Right. And now I see people upset, or people like you. Hey, Alexa, what's the temperature outside? Hey, Alexa, turn on my TV. I'm like, oh, my God. Clark just said I just set off everybody's TVs.
Device, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tacona Powley in Winnipeg says, Rod, who's your favorite all-time Steeler? It's Chase Claypool, then Hines Ward, and then James Harrison. But I have absolutely no love for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just like the gear, and I got it at one of our sponsors, Ultimate Fan Zone. Are you ready? The main event. The Taco Time comment of the week. I see the guys let the cat out of the bag. No, it's fine, Clark. You already announced it. It's already up in the comment section. Well, put it back up. It's too late. John Ohm is our Taco Time comment of the week winner.
Hey.
And here it is. Why does no one know Taco Time's secret recipe? Because they keep it under wraps. Right? We'll be sending a $50 gift card out to you, John Ohm in Winnipeg. Jordan Ewert, one of our viewers on YouTube, says, even the WHL in the 90s was straight fire. Josh Holden was my guy. Number 21. He was my guy, too. I've got old. I used to have a handheld video cam that I used to take on the road and video post-game meals, pre-game meals, walks to the rink, bus trips. Josh was the star of it. First-round pick of the Vancouver. He was always jumping in front of the camera and doing something really stupid, and I loved him for it. But when I see these, this is why I'm so ruined, and I don't understand how George Paris has the NHL Director of Officiating job, Darren, because, like, the other night, who was it from Vancouver that got the 2-game suspension for swinging a stick around and hitting the guy across it? Was it Tucker Pullman? I'm like,
I think so.
That was Tuesday in the first period in the 90s. What do you mean?
Right.
We're suspending him for 2 games for this? In the 90s, you swing your stick and hit a guy right across the head. Well, is he bleeding? No. Shut up. Let's go. Drop the puck.
Wow. You talk about cancel culture or hockey culture. They would shut down the whole league if, heaven forbid, a fan got hold of a stick off the bench in the crowd. That was Saturday night in Wynyard. You know, in the 90s. Some guys got a goalie stick off the bench with opposing teams' fans. It was the Wild West.
Oh, everybody was getting spit on. I was. The players, the coaches were. We had to restrain Rich Preston from going into the crowd one night in Seattle. It's funny because the rink right now, the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, is where the Thunderbirds used to play. I will never forget it as long as I live. Pats and Thunderbirds. We met once a year. Why do these teams hate each other so much? Doesn't matter. The fans are pelting stuff at me. Some guy reaches over the glass, and they had really tall glass, like 10-foot glass behind the benches. Some guy dumps a beer on Rich Preston, our coach. Rich goes to the trainer, Torchy, give me a stick. Goes to climb the glass. Everybody grabbed Rich, pulled him down. The coolest man ever in the NHL. Andy Adams, our goalie. Where's my stick? Not that it really matters, but he went out to the top of the circles, and fans were pelting him with hot dogs, nachos, Cokes, and he's standing there swatting them out of the air like... It's the 90s and the dub. It was the greatest thing ever.
Awesome.
Why can't we go back to that? Steve-O's channel, watching on YouTube, says Rod was a vlogger. Oh, my God. I was so far ahead of my time, I thought I was behind. You know that, Moose.
Well, what did they, I can't imagine what the traditional media, which we have a lot of friends there, what they thought when Rod's got a blog? What's a blog?
I know.
Bless you, Rod.
In 2006. We used to shoot Pat's TV on that West Coast trip from the banks of the river that goes through Spokane, and we'd ship the tape back to Regina. It would air a couple days later. Oh, my God. We'd go on a dinosaur. Who we got next, Clark? Okay. All right. Sounds good. We're going to take a break.
I don't see him yet.
Okay. No problem. But we do need to break. So it's old-time football here today. Oh, my God. Tacona Pally in Winnipeg says, hot tub time machine, Rod. LOL. Don't get me going about hot tubs. In Western Canada, in the Western Hockey League. Jasper, Banff, Radium Hot Springs. Days off. Expense accounts. Moose, we'll see you after the break. You still going to be there?
If Scott's not here, I'll be here.
Okay, it's a FlameTech Football Friday. You're watching on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. FlameTech Football Friday continues, and before we bring in the Canada West Coach of the Year, his Huskies take on the Bisons in the Hardy Cup tomorrow, Scott Flory. I got to read this comment. The viewer in New York asked what was my favorite decade to cover, and I said it's the 90s because it was just a gong show every night in the WHL and the CFL for that matter. Jim McClarty writes in, he's watching from Ryerson University in Toronto. He says, when I worked with the Pats in 2000, we had a song we played for line brawls. Who let the dogs out? How times have changed. Well, let me go one further. First night of the Memorial Cup in 2001, we had a line brawl in the Memorial Cup, and we played that song. And Richard Dirksen, in the meeting, the ensuing meeting the next day, said, I don't know what I'm most bothered about, the fact that you had a line brawl in the Memorial Cup and started it, or that you have a song just for line brawls. We never made it to the final of that tournament. But we're here to talk football, and I know Scott Flory could talk some 90s sports too as well, but his mind is on the Bisons and the Hardy Cup, and we meet again, Coach. Here it is, the next step on the ladder. How are the boys feeling in advance of the Hardy Cup tomorrow on your turf?
Yeah, hey, Rod. No, the boys are feeling good. I think,
we've had a good week of prep here. Had a little bit of snow there early in the university. Just looking out over the field here, the university's been working their butts off here all week and clearing it off, and it looks great, and can't wait for tomorrow.
Well, it's wild because I went to that Rams-Huskies game up there, and it was a slow-moving game. The elements weren't great. It seems like you've been playing bad weather games all season. Like you guys wouldn't even know what it's like to play in good weather, which I guess is a good thing.
We've had a couple clear games, but yeah, it feels like there's a little bit been wind. It's been cold. It's been, we haven't had a snow fest like I guess University of Manitoba and Alberta had last week. But our practices, this has been an amazing fall for us practicing and everything. So hey, man, that's just what it is. You got to play the elements, and we both got to play in it. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt. But you mentioned the wind. I mean, that game against the Rams held the lead for most of the first half. That seems so long ago to you. You would remember the game, but you're looking forward, not back. But my point is, for tomorrow, I looked up mostly cloudy and -1. I don't know what the wind situation is like. Are you the guy that would be calling the airport for the weather like Kenny Miller or Don Matthews? Or how are you leading up to kickoff on the weather conditions?
It's one of those things where you take a look early in the week and you just try to, okay, what are we going to be, long-term kind of looking at? Because it does adjust a little bit of some of the things offensively and defensively that we got to prepare for, make sure that our guys are prepared and ready for it. For me and for us, we just want a clean, fast track, right? That's what we want. We don't want to have to play in heavy snow or rain or wind, but we'll do it and we'll adjust accordingly. So we take that long-term look and then kind of set that plan in place with preparations for being able to adjust later in the week. But the early predictions were it's actually been getting better and better throughout the week here. So yeah, I mean, the wind, I mean, you go back to that Regina game, I think we had 4 turnovers or something and still ended up, winning the game. It was one of those things where we don't want to deal or play in those. Sometimes, teams do. We will, but it's not something that we actually want to play in. We want a nice, clean surface, and because I think that really shows the skill and of the teams, and to me, it's just a cleaner, better game.
Well, in that last interview that you and I did, and what was that, a month ago, you mentioned turnovers, and you said not to be hung up on them, that in hockey they turn over the puck every play. I was listening, Scott. So how do you preach ball security, and how are you on the turnover thing in a football game? Clearly your team doesn't get rattled by them. Well, you don't want to do it.
No, we don't. And we want as few turnovers as possible. I think that, reference back to that Regina game, I mean, you got winds gusting up to 50, 60K an hour. That's pretty fast. So we work it every day, one day, two. We're always preaching it. We're always talking about it. On the defensive side, it's more strip it, rip it, club it, get that ball out. And, on the offensive side is how do we protect it? Because, I mean, if you boil it down, football is a game of keep away. It really is. So we gotta keep it and keep moving forward. And the defense wants to get it and stop them from moving forward. So, when you boil it down, it gets pretty simple. But there's a lot of technique and then there's a lot of nuance to it.
You are coming out of a 6-game regular season, beat UBC in the semifinal last week. What was your history with the Bisons this year and over the past couple of years?
Yeah, no, we got a ton of respect for them, and I think there's a lot more similarities than differences when you look at teams. Sometimes there's, they run a completely different structure or anything like that. I think both of our teams are fairly similar. I got a ton of respect for Coach Doby and how he runs his program. He's been there 20 some years or 25 years, something like that. We had him actually out for a non-conference game here early in September. And that was good. I mean, it was one of those where, you're not going to gauge anything from that. We played our starters, I think, for the first quarter, and then wanted to get everybody through. Hadn't played football in a year and a half, so there's a lot of factors there that we wanted to get in. And then we were out there, I think week 5 in our one regular season game was out there in Manitoba, and we won that game. It was tight. It really was. They're a good team, and we ended up, cracking some stuff late here in that game. But they deserve to be in this game. I think we deserve to be in this game, and it's going to be a really good football game tomorrow.
So the two best teams. Just a couple last questions. Your list of all-stars headed up by your quarterback, Mason Nias. He's old Mace. You always know where you're going to get out of him. He always delivers. Can you just talk about your crop of all-stars that you had in the season they had?
Yeah, no, those guys, man, I just so happy and so proud for them, right? They to get that recognition. They understand though. Like the one thing is, I always preface this, like this doesn't guarantee us anything tomorrow. Like we've got all-stars, you got all this kind of stuff. You still got to play the game, and it's a team game. Now, the better the teams, generally the better the players, right? Obviously, but it's one of those things where we know that we've got to show up, and you can prove them right or you can prove them wrong. And just looking at from our quarterback and our offensive side of things, and and all on the defensive side with the line of scrimmage and our linebackers. So we got a ton of guys I think that are worthy. If they're always recognized, that's nice to get that recognition. But each and every one of those guys would give it up in a hiccup for a chance to win tomorrow, and then also a chance to play towards that Vanier Cup. We just want to keep inching forward.
And just a fun one from Northside YEG, a viewer watching on YouTube, says Scott Flory is on the pink drink, I would think. It's the probiotic drink that I've lost 45 pounds. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of it. Pink drink. I'm on it. I lost 45. You probably did it the hard way by working out and diet. I won't ask you how much you've lost, Scott, but people probably talk to you every day. What's your secret?
No, I don't think there is a secret. I just realized, it was a couple years after playing where I'm like, okay, I'm not an offensive lineman anymore. I don't need to be carrying weight. It's just, man, keep working out, but work out a little bit differently. I'm not doing, I remember the last time I racked 225 on the bench. I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't need to do this anymore. So you work out differently, man. It's just, it's in and out. So you consume less and expend more. So just eat better and work out.
You will love this. Andrew Greene is sitting 25 feet from me. He can't hear what you're saying. So he's like, what do you say? What do you say? What do you say?
Drew looks good, man.
Well, rush the show, baby.
Look at this.
Man, and you just feel better. Especially as the big guys. They used to call it occupational hazard to be an offensive lineman, right? Because you have to carry 300 pounds to be able to do your job. And I did it for a long time. And then, sometimes those habits stick with you for a little bit. And then, at some point you gotta cut ties and sever the cord there and get back to being somewhat normal anyway.
For sure. Everything's great. Scott, good luck tomorrow. We'll be watching. I appreciate all the time.
Man, thanks, Rod. Appreciate everything you do. And I hope people get a chance to tune in and or come out there tomorrow. Yeah. It's going to be a really good football game.
Thanks, Coach. Purchase your tickets ahead of time from the Huskies ticket office, which is open now down at Griffith Stadium. Yeah, I let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to do a sports update when we come back. We're going to be joined by Andrew Greene, another Hall of Famer who I will never forget the story, watching A Football Life on my buddy Dan Marino. And they're showing on the Dolphins bus. And I'm like, I know that guy sitting across from Dan Marino. It was this guy. So we'll talk about that. We got a lot to get through with Andrew Greene here. But first, a sports update on this FlameTech Football Friday. The Winnipeg Jets have a chance to make up for last night's 2-1 loss in Edmonton. The Jets are in Vancouver tonight to play the slumping Canucks in one of just 2 games on the NHL slate. Seattle hosts the Colorado Avalanche in the other game. A quick turnaround for the Toronto Raptors. The Raps are in Sacramento tonight for their 3rd game of a 6-game roadie. Toronto lost 119-103 in Utah last night to remain winless on this trip. The Montreal Alouettes have plenty of incentive to close out their regular season with a win over the Ottawa Redblacks tonight. The Owls have clinched a playoff spot but need both a victory over Ottawa and a Hamilton loss to Saskatchewan to host the Eastern semifinal. And the Edmonton Elks visit the BC Lions in a game between 2 teams already out of postseason contention. 9 o'clock Central on TSN. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors. Check them out at g2gbars.ca. And RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Andrew Greene, former Seahawk, Dolphin, Rough Rider, Argo, Bomber. Did I get them all? Joins us next.
Seattle, Miami.
I said Dolphins and Seahawks. I forgot the Jags. Jackson, the Jags. Oh, see how this interview is going great already. Andrew Greene has a very special message as well when we come back on a FlameTech Football Friday on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feeling the air. It's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama. I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back. It's a FlameTech Football Friday, everybody, here on the RP Show. We got a very special guest. We got to go to the two-shot now. Get this guy on camera, because as he said, he always looks good, but especially lately. You are looking good.
You know, maybe it's not only the black that I'm looking really slender, but, I have actually, it is all under here, It
is, yeah. Hey, this guy, I got to say, very kind of a trivia question. There aren't a lot of guys that have been drafted in both the NFL draft and the CFL draft. You know that, right? There's not that many. Or in your time, there weren't that many. Drafted by the Miami Dolphins, drafted by the Saskatchewan Roughriders in, I think, the same year.
No,
94 Riders, 95 Dolphins.
Yeah.
Went on to an NFL career with the Miami Dolphins, Jacksonville Jaguars, Seattle Seahawks, and then Rough Riders, Blue Bombers, and Argos.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Don Matthews.
That's right. You liked him. A lot of guys don't.
I like Don, man. I didn't mind Don.
Yeah.
I know he was on his way out. He was at the end there, but, he was I liked him, man. We got along.
He signed you because he knew what he was getting in you.
Of course.
A worker and an all-star.
Yeah, he also, when he talked to me on the phone, too, he said they had a rookie that they were getting ready to start that week because who went down? It wasn't the center. Whatever.
Gosh, if I know. Jude St. John?
No, Jude was the center. Anyway, they didn't want to really start him. They weren't really quite confident, so they called me on Sunday. I flew out on Wednesday. Practiced Wednesday, Thursday. Flew out to Calgary Friday, started Saturday.
Right. That wasn't a great year for the Argos, as I recall.
No, it was not, man. No, it was. You know what? I kind of thought they may have had a chance of doing something. You know, it's the East, right? It's what to say about the East, right? You know, it's
the least.
Yeah. We know what we think of the East out here in the West, but as far as football goes by, not as far as everything else.
He's from Pickering, Ontario, by the way. Just putting that
I went to high school out there, of course, right? You know, and I figured, well, I've been here before. We could probably make a run for this Grey Cup, and when we went there, and after being in the league for so long, and I'm running around on one day, giving it all I have, and the plays they were calling to me didn't make sense, and just to set up and any of that stuff, I was like, they're not trying to. I know the guys wanted to win, but a lot of the stuff didn't make sense to me. So I was like,
Let's talk about happy stuff.
Talk to me.
Before we talk about radon gas, which is why you're here.
Talk to me.
Talk to me about Dan Marino. I got photos. I was just at a game with Dan Marino in Miami a couple months ago. Yeah, he said to say hey to you.
Okay.
What was it like?
He doesn't even remember, bro. I bet you don't remember.
I did not talk to Dan Marino. I'm joking.
Well,
but you did sit across the bus from him. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah, it's in the book. I got the book.
He's the man, huh?
Yeah, man. He's really cool. He's really good. He was a good quarterback then. Obviously, everyone knows his history and everything, how he was. But as a person, individual, well, too, he's actually a really good person. He's a quarterback. He knows what he does and everything.
He's
like
confident.
That. Yeah, confident. Exactly. I like that. Confident, right? yeah. He's Dan. That's the man, right? Man. So that's the man. So, no, but he took care of his guys and and took us out and whatever. Well,
we don't get a lot of NFL vets come through the bunker here, so I just want to ask you this. Because I am going back to Miami here and everywhere. You know what it's like down there. You spend enough time there playing with the Dolphins. It's all anybody wants to talk about is the Miami Dolphins. Whether they're winning or they're losing, and they're mostly losing.
Yeah.
You know that.
Oh, yeah.
What's the problem?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, even though, it's like trying to get over that. I mean, we made the playoffs a couple of times, when I was there. And, I don't know. It's so hard. A lot of people don't realize it's not easy getting to the top and for a Super Bowl or a Grey Cup. It takes a lot of work. And even in this league, with a league of 9 teams, it's still just as hard. Doesn't mean you're going to repeat the next year. And it's hard to get there. And what Miami problem is, it's a lot. I mean, is it free agency? Maybe, they don't have enough players or the proper players or whatever it is. It's finding that chemistry, the quarterback can't stay healthy, I don't know, man.
And when I go, and it's funny you say that because I heard Kim Bocampers on sports radio down there, the former Dolphin. He said all the same things you are. He's like, I can't figure it out. They can't tackle. They can't block. They can't make catches. I'm like, I could have said that on the radio.
Well, there's no consistency. I mean, the thing with teams, there needs to be some consistency, especially when you're winning, right? You can't, consistently not turn the ball over, right? So consistently, win your one-on-one battles and play. It's those things, and they're not consistent. And to get to the top and to have that killer instinct to like, I'm gonna get you down. I'm gonna keep it down, and I'm keep it down, until we're done. You know what I mean? And just show the dominance over people. And, that's what I like to see, in play, individual play with people and team especially. That's kind of how I like to play.
For sure. Because you've been on winning teams too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So let me ask you this. We got 1 week left in the regular season in the CFL. Then it's playoff time and Grey Cup in Hamilton. When the snow starts flying, do you think about being out there? Do you remember your times in great playoff runs? You must.
You know what, man? People ask, one of the coldest games. I remember one of the coldest games when I first came up here. when we went that Grey Cup.
97.
Yeah. So I went to Winnipeg. We went to Winnipeg, right? And that's why it's always cold there. It's the coldest place in Canada. I believe it, right? It was so cold there. We got up. By the time we got off, we got in the locker room. Anthem played, and kickoff, right? Did a play, came out for a drink of water. The bottle was frozen.
Of course.
Frozen. I couldn't get any water out of it. It's like, well, it's not like I was sweating anyway, but, it was cold. That was one of the coldest places. So do I like playing in the cold? I'm not a cold guy. I'm a warm-bodied person, right? Definitely like the heat,
Miami.
Oh yeah, I love the heat. I love even now. My house stays like 73 to 75. I keep it tropic. The wife hates it, but But anyway,
she's a cold weather gal.
She's from Glenavon.
From Glenavon.
Yeah,
I just heard that.
Yeah.
By the way, for those that don't know, this guy sitting to my right, your left, is a 4-time CFL All-Star, 3-time Most Outstanding Lineman, a Hall of Famer. Man, you're not wearing your rings. Do you ever wear your rings, your Hall of Fame ring?
No, no, I didn't have them. I do wear them every so often, just any occasions, trying to keep things simple, But yeah, I do have them.
Well, speaking of your house, is it all radon proofed?
Radon proof. I have a very low radon level. It's
That's
50, why
he's here, folks.
Yeah, it's 50 and below, right? It's definitely 50 and below. I'm much more educated about it now since I've been involved. We have a walkout basement, and it's pretty well ventilated and everything like that. And I get it tested. I have a long-term test kit and put it down there, and so those things do help keep the levels of radon down low in your home. Mine is below 50, which is really good, right? We'd like to get it down. It's not bad at all. And that was also in the kids' room. I also test the kids' room because they're sleeping in there 8 hours a day. Right?
I took a fast off-ramp. I should tell the folks that Drew, along with some other CFLers, is a spokesperson for Tackle Radon. It's a radioactive gas that comes from the breakdown of uranium, which I didn't know till you told me about it a couple of years ago, and that where we live out here on the prairies is
hot spot. Hot, really hot.
So you kind of out getting the message out to test your homes because it causes cancer.
It's caused lung cancer. So a lot of people don't know radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer, right? And obviously smoking is number one, right? So it's the number 2 leading cause of lung cancer. So a lot of people aren't aware of that. And being in Saskatchewan, we are on a hotbed. The Prairie provinces, Manitoba, Alberta as well, right? Was based on the uranium that's based in our soil, right? So it's definitely a hot spot here in the province, and every home, building, anything that's in contact with the ground has some level of radon in it. How much it is, you don't know unless you test, right? The radon campaign. November is radon month, right? It's deemed that now as well. So there's awareness all across, I guess, definitely here in Saskatchewan, across the provinces as well too. And we just want to let people aware of this deadly gas. It's a breakdown. It comes into your home through cracks in your basement, some pumps, whatever it is, right? And it builds up in your home. A lot of people don't know that since 2013, I want to say in Saskatchewan, I want to say 2012 in Canada, but 13 was adopted in Saskatchewan. I'm not a dictionary, so but anyway, every home and building when they're being built, it has to be plumbed, ready for radon gas. Right? Every new home since 2012 and 13 has to be plumbed for radon gas. It's mandated now. So a lot of older homes before that weren't plumbed for that. It wasn't really recognized. Right? It comes into your home, it builds up, and the only way to get rid of it, you have to go to a radon mitigator that knows how to detect where the gas is coming from and get rid of it, right? A lot of older homes, I would say, with cracks in basement walls and stuff like that, are a lot more susceptible to that as well, too, right?
Right, and you mentioned the kit and testing. You can go right to the website, tackleradon.ca.
Where's the camera at?
Yeah, order your test kit.
Tackleradon.ca, there it is.
Yeah, it's inexpensive. Tackleradon.ca. You can do the test yourself, right?
Yeah, it comes, it's an alpha kit, it's recommended by Health Canada. it's really small. It looks like those old school 35 millimeter cases, but SRC Saskatchewan Research Council is one that produces this kit, right? So buying a test kit actually does support local as well too. So you put the kit in say a section of your house, basement where where you spend at least 4 hours a day. I put it in the kids' room. I know they're there 8 hours a day, and I know the basement's pretty ventilated as well. And after 3, follow the instructions on it. You'll send it in. They'll send you reminders after 3 months for you to mail it back. It comes with also a return package as well for mail. So you'll get it mailed to you, and you get a return mail package. It's the test kit comes with 3 months, and you also get the results calculated as well. And that comes with all the price of $65 plus tax, right? So that's really, really cheap, right? It's a way to protect your family, your home, your kids. It's one of the things I would say, one of the impact that really shook me when I first got involved around 3 years ago. This is year 3 now. Met a gal at the Radon conference in Saskatoon. Her name was Rachel Melbeck. I think it's a female hockey player. I can't remember her name, from the U.S. And she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer at 33. Right? She was an Olympic hockey player, athlete, getting ready for run the marathons and stuff like that, and wasn't sure. Never smoked. Wasn't sure exactly how she contracted lung cancer. She went back and tested her home where she grew up in with her parents. And which was really high levels, and then she went and tested the home she was in with her kids, also had high levels too. So she was constantly breathing that in. She had stage 4 lung cancer at 30. Always imagine, obviously it wasn't her fault. Nobody knew anything about it. Time out. You want me to call time out?
No, you're good. But
yeah, and
you don't want that to happen to our viewers.
No, exactly. I'm protecting my family. I've protected everyone in my family. It's a close circle I've made aware of, or alumni association, friends, and I'm here in the community. Saskatchewan has been really good to me, right? And everyone knows I'm still involved in the community, and this is just another way of letting everyone raising the awareness of getting tested.
TackleRadon.ca. We do have to break, but Drew, always good seeing you. Thanks for spreading the word.
No problem.
We're going back to Saskatoon with the Moose when we come back. Take care of some business. Final segment of a FlameTech Football Friday is next on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I'm proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. FlameTech Football Friday rolls into the final segment, and it's been fantastic. A lot of Hall of Famers on here. And before we go any further, if you're ready for this, Clark, we have some business to take care of. Landmark Cinemas telling you that in theaters now, if you're looking for something to do, and I know some people very excited about this, experience Ghostbusters Afterlife on the big screen at Landmark Cinemas of Canada. For movie lovers, tickets on sale now. You can purchase them at landmarkcinemas.com. Do we have the poster or no? We don't have the poster. Okay. This week we do not, but I was just at a buddy's place last weekend. He actually had a Ghostbusters mural up on the wall. I'm like, oh, big Ghostbusters fan? Jeff's his name. And he's like, yeah, I already got my tickets for next weekend. So order yours in advance. Don't be disappointed. Landmarkcinemas.com. Experience Ghostbusters Afterlife on the big screen. That's where you need to do it. Let's bring the Moose back in from the Huskies locker room in Saskatoon. I can't imagine the buzz around you, Darren. What's going on? It seems very quiet and calm where you are. I'm sure it's a madhouse around you.
They're going to hate me, but just show you. They're set up there. That's going to be the press conference for the Hardy Cup. So Brian Dobie's flown in, the coach of the Bisons. All the media is going to be here. It's going to be awesome. So that's happening right away here at 2 o'clock. So the press conference is happening. Then they're going to flood this room, kick us out, and get into their meetings and everything else that they do to get ready for the game.
All right. Week 11 of the National Football League. As always, Darren comes up with his 3 top picks plus Nelson's prop bet of the week. I can't wait to see what you have for Week 11 betting tips in the National Football League.
You might not like this, but if we can, we're going to have to do a swap here on the graphics, but we'll get it up for Bet Regal. I've got Houston to cover over Tennessee. Look, Houston is one of those teams that's been a player or two away from being in some games, and Tennessee has been fortunate. My Titans have been fortunate to play here, play there. They got fortunate at a pass interference call against New Orleans. They've got fortunate in overtime against Seattle, the interception against Indy. I think Houston keeps it close. I don't think they win. They'll cover the 10-point spread. I like Miami against the Jets. I don't know if Joe Flacco is going to start for the Jets or who it's going to be, but I like Miami at 3.5. And I like Seattle because Arizona, I think Kyler Murray is still questionable. DeAndre Hopkins is still questionable. So today at 2 points, I like Seattle to cover that. I think Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll coming off that loss in Green Bay, they kept it close defensively, played well. The offense will get going. His fingers will be a little bit healthier. So those are my 3 picks this week. And Nelson's prop pick is Joe Flacco over 0.5 interceptions. So he thinks that Joe Flacco is going to have at least 1 interception in that game against the Miami Dolphins. So there you go.
All for BetRegal.net. And you know what? If you have a big weekend successfully betting for free at BetRegal.net with the Play Sportsbook, you could still win on our BetRegal.net Build Your Bank Challenge. For those that accumulate the most BetRegal points this month, you can win 2 tickets to the Grey Cup in Hamilton or 2 premium tickets to the game of your choice in the 2022 CFL season. BetRegal.net. Join now and play for free. There you go. Nice graphic there. BetRegal, the exclusive betting partner of the Rod Pedersen Show and the Canadian Football League. I will mention that this is Taco Time Viewer Takeover. We did award earlier on to John Ohm of Winnipeg, the comment of the week. We'll be shipping out a $50 gift card to John Ohm in Winnipeg for the comment of the week. And as I tell you, we're getting a lot of business done here. Darren, you want to stick around and be listening for the MySask 411 Business of the Week? What the heck? Why not?
Yeah.
Bugsy's Irish Pub. Bugsy's Irish Pub is the MySask 411 Business of the Week. If you're looking for a pub to kick back, relax, and enjoy yourself, visit Bugsy's Irish Pub in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Half-price appetizers every day from 3 to 6 p.m., a staff that makes you feel at home, and TVs with your favorite sports are always playing. Find them at MySask 411 today. We'll be hitting them up tomorrow before the Pats and the Warriors, Saturday afternoon in Moose Jaw. Bugsy's Irish Pub. Download the MySask 411 app. It's a phone book in your hand. Great restaurants and businesses all on there, courtesy Direct West and MySask 411. We're in the final minute, Moose, final minute of FlameTech Football Friday. How excited are you for the Hardy Cup tomorrow? We got 30 seconds.
I'm really excited. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. This field is awesome. It's playoff football.
Thanks. Great job up there. Have a ball, and we'll see you Monday, Moose.
See you Monday from curling. Have a safe flight.
Noon Eastern here on Game Plus TV. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.
Awesome. Hot take. LFG. Oh, no. Right on. Bingo. How about that? Spicy. Oh, good one, Rod. Bob's your uncle. Let's go.